welcome to Does the Team Think, which is a sort of free-for-all where I act as a referee. Unfortunately, in this particular game, I'm not allowed to send any members of the team off. If I give them a red card, they'd probably eat it. However, I will introduce them, first of all, in my charming way. I will introduce somebody who admits to a weakness. He says he's a maniocleptic, which means he walks backwards into Harrods and leaves things on the counter. It is Roy Kinnear.
I don't know that big a word.
Next, somebody I like to think of as a really close friend, not of mine particularly, but somebody's, I'm sure, Alfred Marks. I fell in love with our next panellist first, not when she was an infant, lovely, beautiful prodigy, but fairly recently when she handed out an award at an awards ceremony. She came in on crutches, you may remember. She'd had an injury on her leg. She stood there and said, "To think that I used to be a pin-up." Well, a lady who can laugh at herself like that has become my pin-up, and it's Diana Dawes. Next, the originator of the programme. He gets a credit every week. I reckon it should be a debit. As you know, he plays the euphonium. You may not know he's a doctor of music. Personally, I'd like a second opinion. It's Jimmy Edwards. You've met the panel now, and your questions have been sent in by viewers. And our first question is put to us by Sheila Ingram. Hello, Sheila. You are from?
Neasden.
Neasden. For those of you outside London, it's in London, and if you're thinking of travelling to London, it's one of the prettier parts of London, would you say?
Oh, undoubtedly.
Yes.
I wrote a song about it called Neasden Mother Brown.
Right.
Yes, and we're hoping it's going to be popular soon.
Sheila, what's your question for this
What does the team think of the standard of British hotels?
What does the... oh, dear. This is going to clean up the language here, I'm sure. What does the team think of the standard of British hotels? Roy?
Oh, sorry, me. I thought you were going to ask the team, but no, you asked me.
Well, you're big enough.
Yes, that's true, that's true.
Charming enough.
What do I think about the standard? But they're very good for British hotels. I mean, it's absolutely marvellous. I mean, when I take my family away, I always go early in the season, so we get the clean sheets.
Diana, what do you think of British hotels?
Well, I think they've improved tremendously since the, say, early 50s, when variety artists and entertainers were forced to travel around and stay at hotels. There were so few that you had to stay at the only hotel in the city. For instance, in Birmingham, there was one hotel. It was the Queen's, and it was the only hotel. There was nowhere else to stay, so you had no other alternative but to stay there. And it was dreadful. I mean, the service was appalling. It was old-fashioned. But the worst thing about it was that it was right on top of the railway station, and the noise was unbelievable. So much so that when Bob Hope came over here for the first time after the war, he too, on visiting Birmingham, was forced to stay at the Queen's Hotel. And obviously didn't get a wink of sleep all night because of these trains shunting in and out underneath his bedroom window. And finally, in the morning, in desperation, he rang down to the reception desk and said, "Excuse me, but could you tell me what time this hotel gets into Euston?"
Alfred Marks?
The hotels I stay at, they don't give stars, they give exclamation marks. I remember on my honeymoon, we stayed at a hotel which should be nameless in one of the towns in England, and as I was signing the register, I noticed a bed bug crawling down the register. And I said to the receptionist, "I'm not staying here." He said, "Why?" I said, "Look at that, there's a bed bug crawling down the register." And he said, "Well, sir, you see, in the summer, even the best hotels, the greatest, you've got to expect bed bugs." I said, "Look," I said, "I don't mind going to my room and finding a bug, but when they come down to see what number you're going into, you know."
Jimmy?
Take a hotel I went to once. Well, I rang down for four bottles of beer. I think it was 6 bottles of beer. Because I was entertained lavishly. And the fella came up and opened the bottles and said, "No glasses." He said, "You didn't ask for glasses." Well, it's the service I'm complaining about.
Pussyfooting around, and I'm worried that people might be watching. I've just heard apparently there is nobody watching, so we can be rude about hotels. And I sincerely...
It's sometimes also it's the lack of... Yes, service is correct. The lack of respect you get. I mean, as a paying client, you expect respect. You don't want to be spoken to as you were a stupid idiot. And I remember going once. I'd been married about 15 years. My wife and I went to a hotel in Manchester, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. The only suite I got left is the bridal suite." I said, "Look," I said, "I've been married for 15 years. He said, if I give you the ballroom, you don't have to dance, do you? You know.
What
Very
I
good money, you don't expect that.
I don't understand that one either.
You don't have to understand it. Just keep laughing.
Just keep laughing.
Thank you very much, Sheila, for that question. All the way from Leeds. Thank you. And now welcome to Lorna Butcher. Hello, Lorna. Hello there. This is Lorna Butcher. Lorna Butcher. That's not too good, is it? Lorna Butcher from Guildford. Hello, Lorna.
Hello.
And you've got a question for our team. They're in
Yes.
lightning mood this evening.
Yes.
Lightning as a slug. Yes. What is the question?
Does the team think that families are better friends than friends are?
Does the team think that families are better friends than friends are? Alfred, this looks like a question for you, I reckon.
Well, I can only speak for my family. We're a very weird lot, really. We were rather historical. One of my family, ancestors of my family, fought with Napoleon. Another fought with Nelson. One of them fought with General Gordon in Khartoum. My father fought with General Earl Haig. I fought with Montgomery. We just can't get on with anybody. A terrible family, but we are very friendly. My grandfather epitomized to me, my dear long-dead grandfather, epitomized to me what friendliness was. He had a sort of wonderful love-hate relationship with my dear old grandmother, both Russian, both came from Russia. And they had sort of logical illogic. I mean, for instance, once I heard her say, "Tell me, Solomon, do you believe in free love?" He said, "Why? Have I ever sent you an invoice?"
Roy. Well, don't you say what was the question again to me?
No. Yes, I think the great thing about friends are that they can always be friends.
That's it, is it?
What was the question?
And now for a look at the weather. Have you got anything more to say on that subject?
About friends and
Are
families.
families better friends than friends?
Friends. Well, of course, no. Family. Friends are better friends than friends, aren't they? Because, I mean, there's no point in having friends unless you're going to be friends, but you've got to have family, haven't you? Have you aware yourself recently? We're all talking rubbish, you know.
I mean, marriage is the greatest cause of divorce. Let's have Diana Dawes instead.
Well, there's an old saying, isn't there, that
Yeah.
you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family.
Yeah, but you can if you've got a big enough one.
Well, you might have, but I haven't.
You've got a very big family. I can pick and choose from them.
How very
The ones to make friends out of.
Well, I really don't. I mean, I think obviously families are vitally important, and well, they are important.
Of course they are. I mean, you know, you wouldn't have anything if you
Oh,
didn't have
shut up.
family.
Just as I said, you're talking rubbish.
What matters is who goes to your funeral.
Frank,
Who cares?
All that rubbish the panel talk, I think.
Mrs.
Do you reckon, Mrs. Butcher, that families make better friends than friends? Do you?
Well, in my case, I mean, they've got to. I've got 4 children, I've got 7 grandchildren, and I shall become a great-grandmother in the summer. So I haven't got time for friends.
You don't.
You don't need friends, do you? Who needs friends when you've got 7 great-grandchildren?
Not great. Only 1 great-grandchildren, and I haven't got that one
Patience,
yet.
the day is young.
Congratulations on a huge family, and I'm glad to hear they're all friends. Thank you very much for the question. Thank you, Lorna Butcher. And now, this is the part of this is the part of the programme we change it slightly, and we have an object, and the object is being brought on by George Glenister. George, are you there? Thank goodness you are there. Hello, George.
It's a big one. Do sit down. Oh.
George,
Somebody to help you on with it.
George Glenister, isn't it?
Glenister.
Glenister, from Earlsfield.
That was good.
Right, where's that?
Near, in Wandsworth.
In Wandsworth, which is, you're about to say it was near somewhere, the posh
Near
place.
the prison.
Near the prison, oh, it is the posh place, yes, right. Now, could we see the object first? Could you hold it up? Sorry, I don't wish to put anybody over. Yes, hold it for the camera and the viewers at home, and perhaps you could then let Roy have a look at it. He's looking fascinated. And Roy, you've got to tell us, and pass along after you've told us, what this object is, in your opinion.
Well, can I honestly say it doesn't make a noise when I do that? And it's not a miniature rolling pin. I think the clue was that George lives near Wandsworth Prison. It's a bar out of one of the cells.
Fell off the back of something.
Fascinating. What we call in engineering a running fit. As an apprentice engineer, I'm telling you the truth. There are screw holes both sides, or for pins. I think it's a pump of some sort. I think it's for clearing your nose. There's a little hole there. So people who don't like to pick, I think you put there's a little hole there, and you go bump bump, and it comes up there. I'm pretty sure that it's a Peruvian nose blower.
It could be a Peruvian nose blower. That sounds quite likely.
Well, I totally disagree with Roy. I think it's Ronnie Corbett's rolling pin. That's all I've got to say about it. I don't know. Ooh.
You've broken it, right?
Is it valuable,
Can we
George?
make that popping sound?
They're telling you, see,
Oh, I like that.
that's a vacuum exploding itself.
Oh, well, maybe that's what it is.
Could you let Jim
Oh,
have a
yes. It's
You do it.
Spike Jones's band. No, it's subtler than that. It's,
I hope so.
it's subtler than that. It isn't for rolling. I personally believe it's got something to do with cartridges. You make a 12-volt cartridge out of this. You put all the bullets in there and you ram them home like that.
Yeah.
Vicious stroke.
Quickly pass it back before you break it. George,
Delicate.
You get rather nasty at times.
I know, darling.
you've just discovered that, have you? George says he didn't make a noise, so we have discovered something this evening.
I discovered that.
So it's not, you tell us, well, it's not, put us out of our misery, it's not Ronnie Corbett's rolling pin, I presume.
The two holes are the clue.
Ah, yes, I thought they were, yes.
So what did you think?
One for each nostril, that's what I said.
No?
What did you think goes in the holes, Roy?
Air.
String.
String up. Now, in actual fact,
Yes.
this is an instrument that was used by an eminent neurologist, Dr. Alexander Bruce, at the turn of the century, in 1903, and it's for electrotherapy.
Can't you be,
Very obvious.
more precise than that in any way, George?
Very obvious.
1903, was it August?
Well, it was that long ago. No, it was that long ago, you see.
We all remember.
Ginning up on
So
it.
it's basically putting electricity into the
Yes,
brain.
he was a neurosurgeon.
Alexander
In those
Bruce.
days, they thought electricity was a be-all and end-all.
And he went
Well,
on
it
the-
was. I mean, because they didn't have much of it, did they?
They did.
And are
We
you
hadn't got it,
saying...
we wouldn't be able to do this programme.
That's very
What's that got to do with living near Wandsworth Prison?
Not a lot.
Absolutely nothing whatsoever.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, George. Now, do stay with us
Oh, yes,
while we watch the...
Yes, while we bring on Alexander Bruce.
We have actually...
We're taking a spot, really.
We're going to take a break now. Join us in the second half where I will be stepping out with half a world champion. Welcome back to Does the Team Think? I've been joined by John Addison from
Lewis in Sussex.
Lewis in Sussex. And you've got a question for our team.
Yes. Does the team think that the standard of graffiti has improved?
I've always liked to tell improved. Does the team think that the standard of graffiti has improved? Typical. What's your profession?
Accountant.
Oh, yes, you always write funny things down for me. Alfred, this is your sort of question.
Is it really? Oh, I wonder where the association comes in.
only one who
I
can
think
write.
probably it has, yes. In my days, it was just down with or up with, but now they really go to town now. I mean, you have to have a university degree to understand some of the graffiti you read now. I go back pre-war now to one of the first bits of graffiti I ever saw. I suppose it wasn't graffiti, really. It was a proper printed notice. The graffiti came afterwards, and it was outside an office in Regent Street, and it was printed. It said, "If you are a loose woman and want to change your ways, telephone the vicar." And somebody had written underneath, "If you don't want to change your ways, phone Regent 438."
Well, I hope that person's out tonight. They'll get a little phone call. Thank you very much. Diana.
I was driving along somewhere the other day and I saw this dirty old van in front of me, and on the side was written, "Make love, not war. See driver for details."
Roy,
That's all I've got to tell you.
Roy, do you reckon it's improved? Don't ask me what the question was.
No, it must have improved because, I mean, they're getting younger because the writing is lower on the wall now.
All those stunted.
Oh, that's stunted, yeah. Yeah, the only one I can remember was in Smithfield Market. And all it said in the toilet of Smithfield Market was, "Please don't feed the animals, they're dead."
I saw one.
I'm an expert here. Sorry, carry on.
I saw one above, I don't know what you call them, where you wait for a bus.
Bus
where,
stop.
where
Show
there was a
how long you've been on the bus.
No.
You've been on the bus.
bus shelter.
The shelter. There's a nicer name I've heard about.
Get on with it. It's a charity, not a bus stop.
And it said, where will you be on the day of judgment? And somebody's written on it, still here waiting for a bleeding ATM.
Do you reckon it's improved in any way?
Oh, yes. I think the graffiti on cars is very good. Those notices you see in the back of the windows. There's one I saw the other day. Support wildlife, have an orgy.
Thank you very much, John. Thank you. Thank you. And now, our celebrity guest, I can give you one clue. She's half of a world champion. I'm going to move over here and say, may I have the pleasure? Vicky Barr, who is the 1982 World Professional Ballroom Dancing Champion. Now, even I know with ballroom dancing, and I'm sorry I didn't, well, if I didn't dance too well, but you need a partner. Where's your partner?
He's in Finland at the moment. He's teaching.
Teaching in Finland.
Yes.
And what did you actually have to do to win? What dances did you have to do?
Well, the section that we won was contested over 5 dances. That's the waltz, tango, foxtrot, Viennese waltz, and quick step. So we had to do those.
Pentathlon of dancing. Gosh, what's your question for our team?
I would like to ask the team, does the team think dancing should get back to being close together again?
Does the team think that dancing should get back to being close together again? Roy, while you still remember the question.
Fun. Well, in actual fact, obviously with me, it's never been close together anyway. I mean, I actually met my wife at a dance. I don't know what she was doing there. She's still been at home looking after the children right now. They get older. I mean, the trouble with dancing today is that you've got to be far away, otherwise the music is far too loud. And if you're
struggling, aren't you?
You're struggling.
Yeah. Would you like me to move the question?
Why not move someone else? No, ask somebody else. No, hang on, I'll think of something.
While he's hanging on.
Yes, Jimmy. People used to say that when I asked them for a dance. I'll come back later. Yeah, Jimmy.
I'd love to think of Diana Dawes and I trying to dance. What did you say? Close together. I
That
don't know.
would be difficult.
I don't know.
For 2 reasons.
Well,
Or maybe 3.
but it's worth a try sometime, darling.
Oh, we'll do it.
When nobody's looking.
We'll do it.
But it's
Preferably when nobody's looking.
I think probably that the reason why people like dancing close together is that each gives the other support when they're not too steady on their feet, you see.
So does a trust.
If you, I mean, if you place your hand in the small, I think it's called the small of the lady's back, and clutch her to you, and she does the same to you, you can't fall over unless there's a strong wind blowing when the lavatory door opens. I don't know. But I think it's just to do with logistics rather than sex, in my opinion.
Do you think this is true, Diana? On a tasteful note we've reached?
Well, I don't know why you've come to me for a tasteful note.
You're the only one left.
I'm not going to be much help to you. The story I shall tell.
Darling, can I just ask, Diana, do you think we should be dancing closer together again? Can I just ask
I'd
you?
love to see it all happen again, because, I mean, really and truly, she was right. I mean, there is, I mean, what's the point of standing up there sort of jigging about, and you can do that at home on your own. I mean, you know, if you're going to go to a dance and be with people, it's nice, and there are all sorts of wonderful dances. I mean, there's, you know, tangos, and
Rumba and samba.
Rumbas.
Alfred?
Yes, well, of course, you're lucky, darling, because you're talking to the 1928 Aldgate East, the Lita champion. Runner-up. But really, they're wonderful days when you held a girl and you danced with her. It's God. And my favourite program is Come Dancing. Those costumes, you know, 45 yards of tulle, hundreds of sequins, diamonds, high heels, and beehives, and some of the girls look nice as well. You get the picture, do you? Yes, you get the picture.
Vicky, what do you think? Well, obviously you've got vested interest, but do you like the vested? No, I mean, obviously you like because you teach close ballroom dancing, but do you also dance separately?
Yes, I think that the dance is affected by the music, isn't it? You have to dance to what the music's playing, and I think that with the return of the swing music being popular, so
dancing
back
together
again.
again.
I was able to dance like you play chess, you know, by radio. You know, you can dance in Bohemia, so I could be dancing in Finland, and you still enjoy the same dance.
I think
The
it's...
sort of dance that I go to is something rather posh, like a hunt ball in a great grand house, you know. And recently I went to one, and the Marchioness, who was the other side of the room, saw me come in, and she sent the butler over to ask me for a dance, and for a butler he danced very well.
That brings us, of course, logically to the story of the two
course it
convicts
does.
in Strange Up.
Sorry,
The two convicts in Wandsworth Jail. Do you remember one of our contestants? Yes.
Yes.
And one convict in the prison yard said to the other one, "Do you want to buy a ticket for the governor's ball?" And he said, "I don't dance." He said, "Not a dance, it's a raffle." You see, it's,
Well, we might as well finish this.
yeah.
We've been going on. I'd like to thank and congratulate Vicky Barr. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you indeed. I'd also like to say good night on behalf of Roy Kinnear, Alfred Monk, Diana Dawes, Jimmy Edwards, myself, Tim Brooke Taylor. Hope you'll watch it next time.